that have been spoken of over and over, but it is the elephant in the room. There are three issues that I know that have been pointed to. One, people say, why didn't you vet your initial lieutenant governor candidate better? Because he owed hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes. Two, you were apparently with a friend in early morning hours found by the police department in a car. And the third thing that people have been talking about, the driver's license issues. Do you want to dispatch all of those for our audience, please? If you have those questions written, I hope we'll take care of it right now.
Well, one of the things that, and I said it in my opening remarks, is that when somebody evaluates a candidate, they should look at their record, their performance in office, and they should look at certainly how they conducted themselves. If they've held public office before, they should say, are there factors that will give us a clue in terms of how this person would conduct themselves in future office? And the good news is that, you know, I have been in public office of one kind or another for 15 years, and I have an exemplary record as both a city councilman, as a mayor, as a county executive, and we have achieved real things and done great things. And I've conducted myself, I think, according to the highest standards of public officials. And when you run for higher office in the state of Ohio, or in most states, if you run for a high office, you will certainly have people criticize you over the worst thing that they can come up with. And every candidate has to go through that. And for different candidates, it's different things. And everybody in this room could ask themselves, if they went through that process, what would be the worst thing that they could say? And if the worst thing somebody says about me is that I was careless about getting a driver's license renewed, so be it. But I think all those things have to be kept in perspective. And when I talk to voters across the state, what they're interested in is, how is my family going to be doing in the next 4 years? What's the performance of my local school district? And is the state helping with that, or are they hurting with it? For my kids that are going into the job market, is it a good job market or a bad job market? Are my taxes higher or lower? Is my local community able to provide the services I expect, or have they not been able to provide the services that we expect? Those are important questions. And these other issues certainly always get raised. But what all of them have in common is that they certainly weren't issues that affected other people, or where other people were hurt or affected. Now, when Governor Kasich ran back in 2010, he went through the same process. And the biggest criticism that he got was that he was a director of a financial institution that operated in the state of Ohio, that went bankrupt and lost hundreds of millions of dollars in public pension money. What's more serious? Who was hurt by that? Was anyone hurt by that? And the answer is yes. Some people lost pension money as a result of that. To me, that's a serious issue. That if I were picking somebody to be in my cabinet, let's say, and they worked for a financial institution, made millions of dollars from the financial institution, but the institution itself had lost hundreds of millions of dollars of pension money, I would have said, well, that's a disqualification for public office. But we all get to, it's a democracy, and people get to decide what they think is a substantive issue, and what's basically an issue that people use to try to avoid having a discussion about substantive issues.
Two substantive issues